Hello Leo, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Leo for the week of October 24th. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go ahead and see what we have here for you, Leo. Now I'm using the Tarot Muka, the After Tarot, as well as the Prism Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. All right, make sure when we fix the cards here, make sure we're all set up and in view, and we'll get right into it. Do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for regular updates from me. Also really helps me out. And okay, I think that looks just about good enough to me. We'll go ahead and put this right here. And then I'll also take a couple of these. And okay. Energy on the bottom of the deck. You have the Fool. So you love to see the Fool. You know, this is, for me, the Fool is the most powerful card in the tarot, because this starts off everything. It's the first card, it's the chain reaction in the tarot that starts the Fool's journey or the hero's journey to get to the world, right? And so in the tarot, you are the Fool, you are the hero. So this is you stepping forward into the unknown, you know, taking a leap of faith and trying something new. And, you know, from my perspective, the Fool only comes forward when you're ready to start something new, right? It's so powerful that it really only comes forward when you're ready. And, you know, if this reading is for you, you know, there's been a big kind of momentum swing or a big momentum push here for you with what's been going on in the past. You have an incredible reading here. You do have one maybe challenge, but one card never makes a reading. And that's life, right? But here, you actually have my two favorite cards in the tarot together. Ace of Wands, Star, hard to beat that combination, and throw in the Sun next to it as well, which the Sun is the best card. So I consider the Fool to be the most powerful card, and I consider the Sun to be the best card to find, the best omen to find in the tarot. So you have some major energies here at this time, Leo. So we start off here in the middle with you, okay, with the Queen of Wands. This is you. It doesn't matter what gender you are, but this is very much a fire sign. I think this is you here showing up heavily, okay? And what I like about this for you is this middle card informs the rest of the cards here, okay? And because it's in this middle spot is the most important spot. And so for you, you are attracting something. The Queen of Wands is a card of attraction, whether it's, you know, attracting a person into the life or attracting something else. You can think like law of attraction. It's also energy. The Queen of Wands is also bold, assertive, confident, courageous energy. And everybody wants to be around the Queen of Wands. Everybody wants to know the Queen of Wands, and everybody wants to get with the Queen of Wands, frankly. And the idea that you have this here in the middle is kind of, I would say, augmenting all of the other cards around it. So you've been attracting this new start with the Queen of Wands here and the Fool. You've been attracting this new beginning. You know, I think that this has been in the making for some time now, but you're going to be very, if this reading is for you, if you're on this timeline, you're going to be very happy with the outcome. In the past, you have the Hanging Man, you have the Ace of Wands, and you also have the Star. So, you know, I love this energy for you. The Ace of Wands is a card that indicates a powerful new beginning in one's life. It's the best card you want to find if you're looking to physically start something new, such as a business, a project, you know, a workout routine, a health routine. It's the spark of life, right? And it's something that allows you to get fired up in life. The Star card is Aquarius energy, but the Star card is a wish being granted to you. It's one of the major wish cards. Okay, so for you, if I'm putting these together, you know, the Ace of Wands, I heavily associate that with like side hustles, you know, starting a business, being entrepreneurial. And the Star, this is something that you've been searching for. right? This is something that you've been searching for. The star is illuminating what you've been looking for. The star is like tranquility, peace, healing, optimism, hope for the future. It's also, like I said, a wish energy, but it's also connected to the cosmos. It's like the energy of synchronicities and the universe. And you've been star hunting. You've been, soul searching. You've been, traveling the universe, looking for this new direction here with the Ace of Wands and the Star card together. And it almost feels like an idyllic period of time here for you in the past. Like something, it's almost like some of you have really kind of lit the fire here with the Ace of Wands. Maybe you bought your domain name. You started your website. You made your blog. You started the channel, made the Instagram account. Maybe even bigger. You took the leap of faith by leaving what was once familiar to you. If you, for example, worked for somebody, maybe you worked at a job, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to put in my 2 weeks resignation or my 2 weeks notice, and I'm going to do this. I think some of you have done something big like that. All right. Some of you might do it in the future, but I think some of you have kind of, my gut feeling is that some of you have already, this has been underway. And along with that, there's this hanged man or the hanging man here. And this is the idea of letting go of complacency. This person has become comfortable hanging out, right? And you can see that they are attaining enlightenment here, right? They're contemplating the universe, which I think you've spent a lot of time doing. But for them, they need to really embrace something new. They need to get out of where they are now. They need to get out of their comfort zone, and they need to try something new. And for you, I get the sense that you've done that here in the past. Now, in the current situation, you have the Seven of Cups, you have the Queen of Wands, and you have the Sun card. So, incredible. Oftentimes when you leave leave a comfort zone or let go of what's familiar to you, or, label it, call it whatever you want. Try something new. Oftentimes what happens is there's this period that immediately follows of like, whoa, I'm overwhelmed. Maybe I'm a little confused. What have I just done? I put my 2 week notice in, now what? I can tell you personally, that's something that I experienced when I left my job in 2019. It's like, okay, I did this, wow, now what? Now what? And I'm not encouraging you to put yourself in a bad spot financially, but and leave your job. But I'm saying, like, this is part of the process, okay? And I think some of you have already done this here, by the way. I think some of you already left your job, or you've already put the 2 weeks notice in, or the ball's been rolling for some of you, okay? But I think the Seven of Cups is just like, okay, now what? Now what? And what I would say to that is, with your energy here in the middle, with you in the middle here, Leo, what I would say is trust yourself, okay? Because you have, with the Queen of Wands, like, you have multiple skills, you have multiple talents, and you have probably a million qualities, that people would love to have. So trust your talents. There's this one oracle card in another deck that is coming into my mind. Trust your talents in changing times. Trust your talents in changing times. That oracle card just popped into my mind as I said that. And I think that that's a big message for some of you. I also think here, one of the things with the Queen of Wands is the Queen of Wands is associated with the word many. And so is the Seven of Cups, many. And what that means is the Queen of Wands attracts many things into their life. And along with that, the Queen of Wands can get a little bit overwhelmed. They can spread their energy too thin. Seven of Cups, Queen of Wands, both similar cards, believe it or not. And it's just a friendly reminder that, you've taken one step forward here, which is important. Many people don't take the first step. So make sure that you're, doing whatever you need to do to manage your energy, is what I feel like saying. You have the Sun, which, again, best omen for me. When you get the Sun in a tarot reading, it's a very good sign from my perspective. The Sun is a card of truth, and you know, it's not just a card of happiness. It's a major energy of happiness. Okay, when you get the sun, and it's a major card of victory and success and abundance and all of those things. But it's also about truth, and you know, allowing the sun to expose anything that is not right or that is untruthful in your life. And so you're being kind of led forward from the truth here. You're truth led, and you know, I think that you're kind of walking on your true path here, just like the Fool, which is you. Now, in the future, you have the Wheel of Fortune, amazing. You have the Seven of Pentacles, and you also have the Three of Swords. So, the Wheel of Fortune says that your luck is coming forward. Your luck's arriving here in the future. Now, what you do with that is up to you. All right, the Wheel of Fortune is interesting because it really brings about a change, typically a positive change. It's like this idea that the wheel has spun in your direction, the wheel of your destiny has spun in your direction, and there's a change occurring, but you have to take advantage of the change, right? And it's really up to you if you want to walk through the door when you get the Wheel of Fortune. You can stay where you are, which is what the Hanging Man does. The Hanged Man stays where they are, or you can walk through the door. And I think for some of you here, it's like, you know, the outcome here looks very, very positive for you. You have the Seven of Pentacles, which is long-term investments paying off or long-term situations. It's also patience and planning. It seems like things have been going very fast for you in your situation, like very, very fast. And so I do think in the future here, you're going to walk through the door, but I also think that you'll realize that this is something that has staying power, that will be around for a long time, and the planning and the patience that goes along with that. You have this Three of Swords, which is separating from, I think, the old version of you. Okay, I don't think that this is a divorce. I don't think that this is a breakup. In this case, I think this is separating from the old version of you, and you're updating your software. Okay, you're getting a firmware update. Okay, and it's because you're now truth-led here with the Sun, and you're also passion-led here with the Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands, the Star. So let's go ahead and let's start to clarify the situation even more. All right, so you have mystery, strength, and determination. Good energy to find here. You know, strength and determination, definitely characteristics associated with the Queen of Wands, which is you in this reading. You also have this mystery. And for me, the idea is that for some of you, I think you've taken the leap of faith here. And the thing about the Fool, which you have on the bottom here, the thing about the Fool is like continually embracing mystery. All right, they have no idea where they're going, but they know they're going somewhere. And for you, it's like, here's what I would ask you, Leo. You're watching a movie. Would you like to know what the ending is before the ending happens? Probably not. Most people don't want spoilers, right? Spoilers are no fun. And so I would say embrace the mystery here. Let's go ahead and start to clarify the situation even more. Now, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you for spending your time with me. Please do hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. All right, so you have the Knight of Swords, you have the Queen of Cups, and you have the Eight of Wands. So yeah, things have been moving very quickly, very, very quickly here for you with the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. All three of those cards indicate swiftness, haste, speed, accelerated motion, things moving ahead, things moving along, and you know you've cut the cable quickly here, with the Knight of Swords clarifying the Hanging Man. The Hanging Man's hanging on to a cable or onto a thread, and they need to cut the thread, and you've cut the thread or the cable here very quickly with the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is something that's so quick, it's almost chaotic. And it's almost like somebody like, okay, some of you are like, okay, now what? But with the Queen of Cups and this idea of a mystery, Queen of Cups is very mysterious, just kind of like the High Priestess. with the Queen of Cups, what you're being asked to do is to just trust yourself, okay? Trust your intuition, trust your gut. It'll probably lead you, it will always lead you in the right way. It will. I'm confident in saying that. It will always lead you in the right way. The Eight of Wands represents something quick. And it's typically, the Eight of Wands is typically like good news coming in quickly, or word that comes in from a distance, social media, text, phone calls, letters, emails. I do think some of you are on social media with the Star and the Eight of Wands. The Star is being in the starlight, right? And the Eight of Wands can be connected to anything online because it's distance-based communication with the Eight of Wands. And so I think some of you are on social media, and I think that for some of you, you're maybe even, you've started a business around this, or you put yourself out there. Okay, you have the Hanging Man, or the Hanged Man again. You have the Magician, and you have the Seven of Pentacles. So we have two repeating messages here with the Seven of Pentacles, which you have in the future, the Hanged Man, which you have in the past. Any sort of this is. I think the example I gave earlier was intuitively the right example. Which again, I encourage you to really trust your intuition, because it will lead you in the right direction. The Hanged Man and the Seven of Cups. The Hanged Man coming in again. This is this idea. The Seven of Cups is like, okay, I've let go. Look, I've probably already broken this down for you, but I'll break it down again. All right, look, this person's like being pampered, right? They're hanging on here, they're being pampered, but there's no growth going on, right? There's no growth. What's going on here is you've cut this cable, or the rope, or the thread, whatever, and now you're like, whoa, now what? I have to figure out what's next here with the Seven of Cups. The Magician and the Queen of Wands, you have incredible synchronicities happening in this reading. The Magician and the Queen of Wands is law of attraction, manifesting, all of these sorts of things happening in your life. You're manifesting something big. You're bringing in important situations using the law of attraction, which is really just you acting authentically and, expressing yourself fully. The Seven of Pentacles and the Sun, you'll be happy with this long-term outcome. You have the Justice card, Queen of Swords, and the Hermit. So the Justice card says that if you take the right action, you will get the right outcome. It's as simple as that. Our actions are very important, and there's a karma that is associated with the actions that we take and the motions that we have. And you are really moving in you have a great motion here. You have great momentum here, I guess is what I would say. And the cards are saying that you have favorable karma, or you have good karma here. The Queen of Swords is all about focus, and the Hermit is all about isolation. Some of you are really ready to get this thing underway, whatever this thing is for you. Also 9, Wheel of Fortune is 10, the Justice card is 11, the Hanged Man is number 12. This is progressing for you. You have the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. I think for some of you here, this is because you're going solo. The Hermit is solo energy. With the Three of Swords separation, you're separating from maybe your old work or what you used to do for work. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next reading.